next fight.
No, shut up.
Hello there, everybody.
See what I mean about learning?
Oh no, we're great. Ah, that's right, Gunfang goes, "What's up, nerds? It's me. I'm Uncommon." And the more I do my introduction, where I'm like, "I'm Uncommon. Welcome to Uncommon Gaming." During these shows, I'm like, "Well, it's not really about me, but welcome to what currently titled Deputy Delvers." That's kind of the name off the cuff. Maybe it changes, but I am joined by I guess this time it's like some of the usual sexiest players in D&D, and then these other also attractive D&D players that we found somewhere in the channel. And we're here. We're here today to do what is the first Deputy Delvers episode, which is a Patreon tier reward that we threw down there, and somebody bit. And so this and everything you're about to witness tonight is thanks to the Cranky Cuber. We get like a hand wave.
Yeah,
He's over there. He's right.
Hey, I'm waving. I'm looking at the wrong camera.
Camera 1, camera 2. So this is going to be a new story in the same world. It is delving in deep adjacent. It means it's going to. There's a possibility that their actions affect the greater world and the adventuring party of the delving in deep crew. With that, I wanted to, just for my sake and for the player's sake and for the audience sake, do person and character introductions. So we'll start from the top left and kind of go clockwise.
Okay, so that's me, or Larry playing Nibbles here. It's a goblin barbarian. Let's get playing.
All right, I'm still waiting for my Twitch to load up.
Oh, you're fine. Just tell us who you are and a little bit about your character.
Oh, it is me. Okay. Hi, Jesse. So I'm playing Gwenna. She is a water genasi druid baker. And she is accompanied by her emotional support corgi, Tuna.
That's a good name for a corgi.
Nice.
All right. Cranky.
I guess that's me. Hi, I'm Greg, or Cranky Old Cuber, and I'm playing a druid named Clayton Moore. And you'll find out more about him later.
All right. You're up, Joy.
I am? Are you sure?
Is that that's clockwise?
Oh, okay. I am Jamie. I'm playing Granny, or Granite Jade Blue Moon. She is a rather grumpy gnomish paladin.
And spinning right over to Spoopy.
I'm Spoopy. Spoopy Art Ghost, as some of you are familiar with, and I am playing Finn, who is a person and is a rogue.
Finn's a cool name and a interesting Star Wars character that I'm ready to learn more about. Okay, so we are moving our story a little bit to the south, actually quite a bit to the southwest this time. What you're used to and have been introduced to is the city of Chrolome and the city of trade and markets and freedom. The story starts, I'll bet briefly, in the land of Loros. It is the bottom left hand of the map, the southwest, with the large blue and gray castle. And you find yourself in the capital city, in one of the military quarters, and you have been invited to, invited to speak with one of their analysts. And the question I have for each of you is, what have you accomplished, or what happened for you to, or that would cause you to stick out enough to be noteworthy and summoned to this place? And we'll start in that same introduction order.
Okay. So Nibbles has basically it's his sheer ferocity for fighting. The other thing he's noteworthy for is gambling, despite him losing lots and lots, quite often losing in which is why he is currently just in a wedding dress, which he will not explain to anyone about his ordeals in order to get this wedding dress.
Okay.
But,
Ferocity.
yeah, ferocity.
Jesse?
Frosty in a wedding dress.
Oh no. So Gwenna isn't the best adventurer. She kind of got lost looking for mushrooms and happened upon a little encampment of soldiers, saw what crappy food they were eating, and took it upon herself to smack the bread out of one of their mouths and then cook for them. And she just kind of like followed them around for a bit. So she's kind of become camp mom
Okay.
for every group she's found.
Okay. You've endeared yourself to the soldiers and the people, and they know you, and your name is spread. All right.
Pretty much. She's
All right.
kind of oblivious to that, but
What about Clay?
Clay is kind of bookish and academic and has probably pestered everyone around him for bits of lore and information because he's just on a search to learn all that is learnable. And of course, he's trying to go to Druid school, but it costs money. And so he's had to make some compromises in order to get the money to go to Druid school.
Okay. Did he make
Yes.
it to Druid school?
He's been there for a year and then ran out of money and had to go find some more.
Okay. So you are starting. You finish your freshman year,
Yeah,
but you don't have the tuition together for sophomore year.
yeah, he knows Druid stuff, but not well.
Okay. All right. What about Granite?
I'm chasing Gwenna.
Just
I figured she got lost, and I wanted to follow and make sure she was okay. Plus,
Okay.
her cooking's really, really good.
and your character name again, Spoopy?
Finn.
Finn. And what made Finn notable? Notable.
Finn is very good at. I mean, no one will call it subterfuge, but that's what it is. And has made a lot of friends in a lot of places and has kind of worked their way up in the ranks
Okay. Now,
socially.
something I like to do in kind of these starting groups, there's a magic item that one of you has come across. Who, and this could be group vote or take it upon yourself, who has this magic item?
I'll do it since no one is saying anything.
Okay, so Finn, you have a magic item.
Okay.
My first question is, what form does this magic item take? And I'm going to give that question to Greg.
It's a boot.
Okay, she has a magical boot. Now, what's one good thing
What?
this boot does, Jesse?
ha!
Is it one boot or a pair of boots? This is
One boot.
important.
One boot.
One boot. So thinking with Gwenna's brain, the magic boot, every third step a bunch of flowers pops up. Random flowers. It's never the same flower.
Okay, there's a boot of flower creation. Now, Joy, what's a negative of this boot?
Plants need water to grow, so it's always soggy.
You have the soggy boot of flower creation. While wearing it, your feet, your every other third footstep on your right foot will create a bloom of colorful flowers, be it roses, dandelions, wildflowers. It's useful in that it will help cover up tracks if the environment is right. You can give yourself advantage on sneak checks where flowers are present in the terrain.
But I have a soggy foot.
You will have a soggy foot. That will reduce the amount of time you can walk before suffering exhaustion by half.
And do I have to always wear the boot?
No.
Can this be like, oh, we're gonna go to this place, let me put on my soggy boot?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm being summoned. I better put on a boot.
I'm being summoned
It's
into
really-
the forest.
It's really, really subtle to walk around with the magic shoe that pops flowers out of the ground. So I just want to make sure that I'm as subtle as possible with this magic flower wet.
No, absolutely. It greatly impairs somebody trying to track you. Okay. So, with that, the 5 of you, well, I'd say,
Can we say it looks like a galosh?
what's a galosh? Yes, but I just want to know
like
what a
the big
galosh
big rubber
is.
rain
boot. Oh,
man,
absolutely.
I wanna-
Big
I mean,
rubber
but
rain
there's
boot.
but the inside's still soggy
Yeah, of course. It's soggy on the inside.
everywhere. The whole thing, constantly soggy.
The whole thing.
Okay. I would imagine that you can't like put it in your bag. It's got to hang out of your bag, or it'll actually
such a
moisten your
jerk.
entire backpack. So this is just a boot strapped to. The bag.
It sits in its own leather bag and just hangs on my hip. I just got bag of boot.
Ooh, you know what? If it hangs in the bag of the boot, I mean, it would eventually provide enough moisture for water. Survival tip.
Yeah. Is it clean water? Is it potable water?
Is your boot clean?
Of course it is.
Then it's potable.
'Cause I wouldn't be wearing it frequently. Clean it. It'll stay clean.
Okay. So, with that, you find yourselves in the military encampment of Loras's capital city. And to give you some background on why this is a military encampment, for the last 500 years, there have been tension and war back and forth between Ektun's nation and Loras's nation. Think North and South Korea. Very similar, minus the economic. There's no economic troubles, in Ektun's territory. Just kind of that control of people and information and overwhelming freedom and stuff from Loras's side. Loras being the, and let me pull up my notes so I don't get this wrong, as I am often do, because if you don't know this, I have a memory of a goldfish. Yes, Loras, a god of spirituality, divine order, life, and war. She is much loved by her people, and her goal is to build followers. It makes her a very divine presence. Ektun, the contrary, he's a god of conquest. His domains are war, order, and light. He wants to conquer the world, and at this moment, Loras has been the only thing keeping that war machine from overwhelming the rest of the world. And it's been 40 to 50 years of tension, not war. In the middle, poor Robad is this, I think, orcs and goblins and this desolate land that has been the battleground of a lot of these interactions and struggling to hold this power. And that's kind of the structure you have of your continent. And this is where you find yourself, outside of a large military quarter, coming together for the first time, all individually summoned, and you kind of all arrive at the same time.
I size them all up individually and go, and who are all you? Why are we here? I've just got a summons, but I'm not typically called upon.
I'm digging through my
summoned us?
backpack looking for a book.
Okay.
My good fellow, are you in a wedding dress?
Yeah, it suits me, doesn't it?
It does. It is quite dashing.
Oh, thank you. And your name is?
My name is Finn. Pleasure to meet you.
You as well.
And Finn is wearing proper noble's attire.
Okay.
I can see you're dressed for the occasion too.
Absolutely.
I'm still digging through my backpack, trying to find the book.
Well, I'm Granite Jade Blue Moon. You can call me Granite Jade Blue Moon. Thank you.
Good. There's someone shorter than me here. Perfect.
Oh,
So Gwynna's kind of like trying to look behind her because Tuna has a thing about squirrels and small animals, and she's just seen one. So you've got Gwynna like trying to hold Tuna and looking kind of over her shoulder at you, going, "Gwynna, bake Tuna."
That's Gwynna. She bakes.
I say this Tuna.
A weird one, aren't you?
Is she baking tuna? Is that what I'm getting here?
No, Tuna is the emotional support corgi.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, she's not. We don't eat tuna. This tuna.
No.
How about you going through the bag? What are you doing? What are you up to? I don't trust you.
And I just put my hand up while I'm digging through with the other hand and go, "Oh, hello, Clay. Nice to meet you." And go back to digging through the backpack.
Nice to meet you. Do you need some help digging in your bag?
I'm trying to find the book where I wrote down the story about the gnome with the wedding dress. I know it's in here somewhere.
Goblin.
I'm a goblin.
Or goblin.
He's got a story
Sorry,
about a
goblin.
gnome.
Sorry, goblin.
And
You have a story about me.
it's at that moment that you notice there's a slender human man watching you at the entrance of the tent, and he's observing each of you. It takes a moment, sizes you up, and says, "Hello, welcome to." Well, welcome. Actually, let me Finn, right? And he points to. He doesn't point to Finn. Normally I have your names all on the screen. So they pull up my other notes.
There's clay, granite.
There we
Go.
Yeah, he points right at Clay. He says, "You're the Finn."
What?
That would be me.
Oh, you're
not
Finn?
Who's Finn?
This means you must be Clay.
Yes.
Excuse me. I am Andrew Perkins. I've been assigned your case. I'll be your handler for this particular assignment. I'm just getting faces with names. If you give me a moment. Finn. You are Finn. Okay. And you said your name was Clay. Yes, you are the Clay. You with the dog.
Yes, Clay.
And he stares at you and he squints. Are you a tuna? Your name is Tuna?
Oh no! This little tuna. Gwynna.
That's right. They wanted the dog. I'm not sure why you're here, but I guess you're with the dog. And he says the goblin is Nibbles and Granite. That is Granite? Fantastic.
Yes.
Welcome to the tent. My name is Anthony Perkins and Andrew Perkins. I'm Andrew Perkins. I am your handler. If you will follow me, we can have a wonderful discussion that is not so open. And he turns and he walks into the tent.
Hastily behind him. Let's do this.
I will follow along.
Finn will be the last one in.
Okay.
Clay
Yeah.
finally says,
you-
"Oh, found it," and pulls out a book, and then looks around and grabs his backpack and follows.
And Gwynna's picked up Tuna at this point, and she's following everyone in.
Go ahead.
I feel like, Gwynna, we should go home soon.
Still look. Still how say
Ingredients?
that one. Still looking.
As you
No problem.
As you walk in, the tent is alight with various forms of magical flames and orbs. Along the walls are tables with You ever been to like a science fair? You get the three-sided poster boards. They're those, and they're spread across, and there's maps, diagrams. There looks to be notes written, and in the middle there's one large map, and this is of the western continent of Zezzap, with several like chess pieces representing armies and movements posted on both sides of Ektun's nation and Loros's nation. And Andrew circles around to the other side and says, what is it that you see on the map in front of you?
What is it that we see on the map in front of us?
Yes, that is what I said.
That was
I'm gonna
out of character
wander.
asking.
Give
I'm
me
walking right up to the map
Okay.
and just getting right in front of it and peering at it.
Okay, both of you give me an insight check.
Oh, dear.
I would like to also get up close and personal with this map.
Okay.
I got an 18.
Okay. So with an 18 Finn, you see that the forces of Loros are structured defensively, more farther away from the border, but with oversight in large elevated areas. You see that the forces of Ektun are pulled even farther back from the border in what looks to be the least aggressive manner. Clay, you see that without all of the insight.
So it would appear there is a wider divide between the two armies than there generally would be.
It's very, very astute. What, somebody else, the Corgi maybe. What does the Corgi think of the plans in front of us?
So Gwen is holding Tuna, and she's just like looking over to Granny, like, okay. So she'll set Tuna down on top of the map.
Okay.
Can a dog talk?
Let me just get a flat animal handling check. Let's see where this Corgi tuna relationship sits.
Oh God. Oh, I'm sorry ahead of time. Here we go.
Now, let's see. It's your emotional support Corgi, but are you its emotional support human?
We're about to find out. Okay.
Okay. With that, the Corgi stops on the table. It seems to have it seems confused, turns its head, looks back at you, and then jumps off the table.
I don't know either, Tuna. He said, "What you think?"
I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you. It's fine. We do need you, but the Corgi is adorable. They say you're very good with people, and that's really what we need right about now.
Eh?
I'm saying you're good. You're good. We actually do need you. What I see is fresh faces.
That's a compliment. Thanks.
Your face may be less fresh. Maybe toothbrush for this one.
I have an extra, and I start digging through my backpack.
How big is his backpack? You seem very interested in.
It's a backpack.
Oh, it's a backpack. I have one of those.
It's not huge, but it's not small. It's not one of those little mini ones.
It's not a duffel bag or a.
No, it's got
Clay.
some books and toothbrushes in it.
Just imagining like one of those giant hiking bags.
Yeah, it's a bigger bag. It's not a school bag.
I feel like your motto should be always be prepared, and I bet if I asked for a kitchen sink, you'd have one of those too.
Let me look.
Pulls out a water basin.
Oh, I didn't bring it.
Alright. let me small talk aside. Let me bring you into some of the insight and the reasons you're sitting here with me today. Does that sound like something you want to do?
Of course. Excellent.
Yes, it does.
Can I just ask one question?
You can ask all kinds of questions. I'm loving every bit of you. This is fantastic. Y'all are awesome people.
Does this job pay?
Oh, the job pays fantastically. But it'd
Oh,
be
good.
very, very. It'd be a while. We can give you kind of a down payment, and when you return, much bigger payment.
Gwen, are we being offered a job?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I-
What job? What is job?
Ooh, I like these questions. I have answers for these questions. This is what I do. I have answers to questions. Here's the job. You are fresh faces. You have shown some promise, and Doros, the great goddess, has found it in herself to summon you here for this task. Let me start. I have a format. I really enjoy this format. It helps get across all the appropriate points. So I'll start with the situation. See, the situation, as you can see, Ektoon seems to have pulled back. However, our spies tell us that he has continued to build his industry of war. Machines, massive war machines. He's preparing for something and we do not know what. We've asked him to end his construction deep within the nation of Ektoon, but despite our vigorous, he pauses, letter writing campaign, the situation continues to grow dire. We fear that aggressions will once again reunite next spring when the snow gives way between our lands. It is currently summer, and you may note the confusion on your face and continues once it falls and then melts away again. We also have come to find out that Amaran Crowland, that's the general of Ektoon's army, has recently enrolled his eldest son in Ektoon's seminary, the premier training ground for all of Ektoon's clerics and paladins. It is believed that Durant is being heavily groomed and prepared for command and will lead the vanguard forces next spring. This worries us greatly. Your task will be to act as spies for the great goddess. We need you to go befriend Mr. Crowland, Durant Crowland, his son, gain his trust, and provide us with the best chance to defend against the dark armies of Ektoon.
Yep,
And-
I got all that.
I missed all of those names.
Yes, I apologize. What was the son's name?
His name was Durant. It is a D, a U, A, N, D. D like donkey, around.
This is the son of who?
Ooh, this is the son of the greatest paladin in all of Ektoon's forces. His general, head of army.
Glad this is a team mission, because I don't think I could take instructions very well. Not those ones.
You mean the writing down part or the doing what you need to do part? Because you seem very resourceful.
Yep, I lost it all.
Son of
Wait, which
General
part? The notes?
Army. He's at what school?
Ooh, he is at Ektoon Seminary. They call it the academy, or the military academy. It generates their officers.
I do very few things well, and listing's not one of them. I basically know how to fight and gamble. Yeah.
And you want us to spy on Durant, the son of the general of Ektoon's army?
Even better, I want you to enroll in the academy.
Oh, school.
And he pulls out 3 envelopes and places them on the table. Among you, I think we have 3 of you are connected with the divine powers of Loros. You will infiltrate as students in the fall semester. The other 2 are the bodyguards. You must double up somehow. protect and be bodyguards. I should say that students of the academy are often accompanied by bodyguards. That is now you. The corgi will have to serve you.
What can you tell us? Can you tell us more about this Durant?
Our intelligence says that he is a large man, cruel and mean. Wears his hair in a large beard that comes down to his midsection, and a bald head. This is a ferocious man who wields a blade unlike any other than his father.
Oh. Is he human like me?
He is a human. Maybe not like you, less books.
I'm definitely human.
You were.
If the stories are to be believed, he is a 6'1.5" tall giant.
You know if he's a smart man?
If the rumors are to be believed, then I am skeptical. He is brilliant, beyond comprehension. I suspect exaggerated a little bit, but being raised with that kind of pedigree, it would not surprise me.
He probably wouldn't be headed for an officership if he was foolish.
But to stay in the seminary would be prime opportunity to make new friends. A strange environment away from his father could give you just the chance you need. But I warn you, the land of Ectun is not the land of the goddess. It is not a kind place with kind people.
Fun. Sounds like fun.
Well, Perkins, is that all the information you got? Did you guys get all that?
I got it all.
I believe I did.
Phew. All right, good.
I'm,
And that was
I'm,
it, Perkins.
I'm
I mean-
furiously writing in my book.
I can answer your questions all night if you wish. We have some time. I mean, the ship does not leave for a couple of days, and it'll take the slow way around the eastern country as to not come from the common shipping lanes.
Does one of those envelopes have my name on it?
It does.
I'm going to take it.
This also contains your invitation and forgery papers, or I wouldn't say forgery papers, but papers identifying you as a member of a minor noble house in the nation of Ectun. We use your real names, which might raise suspicion further on, but it will keep you from slipping up, as I don't get the feeling that you are all expert at, the old spy game. And this is exactly why we send you in. Yeah? You're competent, you are fresh, and when they look at you, they go, there's no way they're spies. Not at all. Look at this goofy bunch. There's no way that these people are here from an army. Play up the incompetence part, and you'll be just fine. But, not too weak, because then maybe they kill you. I don't know. It's a very dangerous job. Honestly, very dangerous.
Well, what will I be learning?
You'll be learning about magic. You'll probably expand your inventory of divine spells quite a bit. You'll learn, I imagine, a whole bunch of Ectun propaganda, history, and their version of the war. What you're really looking to get is those casual conversations with the young Krarand when he's drinking away and talking about the battle plans. We could really use battle plans information.
Clay writes that down.
Battle plans information. Very good. Make sure you spell information correctly. It bugged me for a little bit once I was learning the common tongue. Lots of syllables in that one.
Tell me more about this academy. Like, what's their library like?
Oh, the library is extensive. It has to be. It'll probably, because I have not had an opportunity to peruse it myself, but it'll, the history of the land, the military tactics of the training regiments, probably the annals of the 500 Years' Wars, probably all kinds of things about, the divine magics.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm in.
I would love to learn some more things.
I assume one of those envelopes is for me.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
May I have it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He takes it and scoots it your way, and then looks at the last druid. You seem nervous.
Gwyneth's kind of like looking at the envelope, kind of like, oh, just I beg, why I beg.
You'll do back. Oh, you have
Here,
it.
take it. I grab it and hand it to her. You're welcome.
She didn't really catch it. She just kind of like flung it.
He looks closely and leans in. He says, "You are important. You connect with people better than any of your companions, especially the little one over here. You think the puppies and the corgis are adorable, but Mama camp follower Cook has made her ways into the hearts of many people.
Oh.
Loros calls upon that skill."
What is word?
Yes.
Learning more spells.
You will have an opportunity to do that. It is an academy for clerics, paladins, and druids.
But student, I have to be student.
It is true.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
It'll be great.
You say that last time. What happened last time?
Just think of all the new recipes you're going to learn.
You said this would be fun, and here we are.
I didn't know school. Did not know this school.
This is what happens when we have fun, Gwenna.
No.
I'm just thinking getting paid to go to school sounds, and then I noticed the dog. I was like, oh, puppy, and immediately plop down crisscross applesauce right there and start making the noises.
I'm gonna help Gwenna open
Give me an
her
animal handling
letter.
check, please.
Oh,
Okay.
sure. Hang on.
So Tuna kind of flops over. She has armor and she pretends to be tough, but like the second you make the noises, she's just like, love me. So Tuna's taken care of. Gwenna will kind of look angrily at her friend and just kind of snatch the papers. Fine. Gwenna student, fine.
Yay! We're going back to school.
He looks over to Finn and says, "You've been a very observant individual. What are your thoughts?"
I think you're right. I think this group could do a very good job at what we're being asked to do. Look forward to make new friends.
We are counting that we have not made the mistake. Counting on that we have not made the mistake. I hope that for both our sakes we are right. He looks over at Nibbles. Are you kind of spaced out? Is Nibbles spaced out and zoning out?
He's focused on the toys on the table, and he's thinking about. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna ask my opinion next." Well, I was thinking, and he hops up on the table and he pushes all the pieces over to the other side. You just take them all at once. See, more numbers, less casualties. You just overrun them.
Sure.
He turns around, and there are some other staff workers in the building, in the tent. And he says, "Did you hear that? He said, take them all out all at once. Work on that project for me, please. Start that experiment. We will do exactly that, young goblin."
Yes.
Wait, does that mean we don't get to go to school?
So your scholarship and tuition have already been covered. We do need you still. We'll just give you a warning before we do the big boom. How about that?
The big boom. Wait,
You'll-
the what?
I like the sound of that.
Big boom. What the big boom?
I'm fucking with you. If that magic existed, we would already be doing it. Come on now. I am military strategist, not a moron. Maybe a little bit of a moron, but they're still military strategist. Strategist.
Strategist.
That one. Yes, what she said.
So what time does the train get here?
It's a bolt.
Oh, the boat. What time does the boat? Wait, we're in Chrolome right now?
You are in Loros.
We're in Loros and we're going north to Ektun.
We will, yes. And the bolt will take you, and he pulls the map back into place. Points at the southern tip of Loros' territory and runs it past all the way around the eastern continent and up to the north. We will come from that direction. We will deposit you at the it is a western city docks, eastern city docks. A short train ride from there will get you to the capital city.
What's the name of the capital city?
It is insert name here for me to check up later.
Okay.
Tom, where you at, Tom? Tom could not be with us here tonight.
We miss you, Tom.
Is it
What should we do between now and then?
well, I mean, between now and tomorrow, you may we can get you some rooms. You can enjoy the camp one last time. After that, it is a journey. It is going to take at least a month to travel around.
We're gonna be on a boat for a month.
It'll be quick. Don't worry about it. Get the hobby. Maybe do some whittling. You can take some
Dice
extra
set.
books.
I hold out my dice set. We'll play this all the time.
We play.
The whole time.
We will play Dungeons and Dragons, eh? On the boat.
That sounds wonderful.
So Clay has trouble with names and looks over at the goblin in the wedding dress and says, "Hey, goblin in the wedding dress."
Yep, Nibbles the name. Or if you'd like, you could call me
Nibbles.
Sir Nibbles a lot.
Sir Nibbles a lot. Sir
Yeah,
Nibbles a lot.
I've heard it once.
Okay.
I like the sound of it, so I kept it.
Okay. Do you read?
If I have to.
Okay. Very well.
Why? You're not going to make me read any of your books, are you?
Well, I wouldn't make you read them, but I might let you read them.
Let.
Do you have any books
you
with
what-
the pictures in it? I love those.
That's what I was thinking, Perkins. If you draw some pictures on it, I'll read it.
I do not draw very well. Well, I could sketch plants and things. And probably goblins.
Oh, yes. Stick figures work quite well, too. I'm not picky, just pictures.
With that, we have we will also be loading in the boat down with clothing befitting a minor noble house. We will need to get your measurements and your color preferences. I don't want to put you in red if you are more of a green person. The wedding dress doesn't have to go, but he makes his face and he scrunches. I mean, you can hold on to it, but we'll give you some other clothes and Nibbles a lot.
Could you just get me baggy shirts and pants? I'll just put it over it.
Ooh, we could do robes. Some nice robes.
Yes, I like that.
I would imagine the school has some sort of uniform wear that we should wear.
Ooh, that's true. I hope that they're sized there and not beforehand, because you could get in some big trouble because we don't know of a uniform.
You can find out.
We can try. It will take a couple of months, and by then it'll be too late to enroll you.
I mean, we can find out when we get there.
Oh, absolutely. I hope you're good. Who is the smooth talker?
We will find out for you.
That is your job as spies. Look at you. You are learning. You're
I'm
going to be
getting
great
it.
agents.
Clay sounds like the sweet talker to me.
Probably. I'll try. Probably not.
Don't worry, I think I can handle that.
I'll put it this way: in my home village, no one likes talking to me.
That's wait.
We have something similar.
We have something in similar.
That's what I said. We're similar.
I do recommend, and he pulls a book out, says, this one is what we have on the histories and the current economic situations. And it's not perfect for your needs, but he hands it over to Clay. You seem to be the book learning type. Spend some time maybe reading this and teaching your fellow spies. It's a good word, right? It rolls off the tongue. Teach your fellow spies a little bit about the city that they're supposed to be from on your way over there.
This I can do.
Yeah. Anything else that the great goddess and our nation can do for you, brave servants of the goddess?
We should draw up a list of items that we will need.
You mentioned a down payment.
We do have a down payment. You are keen on the gold. I like that. And he walks over, grabs
Very detail oriented.
a small chest, plops it on the table, opens it up, and there are 5 bags of gold and 1 bag of doggy treats.
Oh,
He says this should be, we counted it out, 235 gold and then 300 platinum. We cannot send you, per bag. We cannot send you as minor nobles without sending you with a minor fortune. Please
you
do
say
not
that
spend it all
one
at
more
once. Shoot. 235 gold, 300 plat.
235 and 300.
See how it is, Casey. Give this group a platinum.
Well, Gwynna's gonna take the dog treats. Clay, are you still rubbing her tummy right now?
I am.
Okay.
Although
So-
I rolled a very bad animal handling check.
Oh no. So in that case, Gwynna's gonna take one of the dog treats out and be like, Tuna, come here. And Tuna will see the treat, come running over, and she's going to try to do that trick where you put the biscuit on the nose and the dog has to wait,
Okay.
and then they flip it in their mouth.
All right, so for this, what we'll do is at first, it'll be animal handling at disadvantage. Once you succeeded, it'll be animal handling at advantage. And then you could use the dog treats for advantage rolls on your animal handling. You have 35 dog treats.
Ooh, good to know.
But you have to succeed DC 15 at least once before they work.
Okay.
Okay, so you go to put it on Tuna's nose, and he immediately pulls back, takes the biscuit, and runs away.
We work on this, you cheater. Love you, cheater.
That is adorable. That is awesome. I'm a big fan of the tuna.
She cute. She's sassy. Don't listen very well.
Lots of personality in small dogs. They've got to fit it all in this tiny package.
Mm-hmm.
It's adorable.
There is
And-
go ahead.
Finn has just been taking notes this entire time.
Okay.
We have a lot of nerds in our group, don't we? As I stare at all of the people writing and doing nerdy stuff.
Are you still on top of the table?
Gonna pick my teeth with my battle axe.
I'm gonna have to say yes. Nobody's taking me down, and so yeah.
He leans in.
Still
He
playing
says,
with the toys.
"I'm gonna need you to balance this nerdiness, yes, with your ferocity."
I could do that.
Good
You just know my language.
ferocity.
And I kick the toys.
Give me a performance check. You kick over several of the castles that belong to Ektun's side, and Andrew leans back. He says, "Yes, exactly like that. Are you taking notes? That's exactly the kind of destructive force that he's talking about. We're gonna get that boom. Make it a giant foot.
No
You
boom.
just need a giant goblin.
We do. Ooh, giant goblin. Start researching
Yes,
goblin growth.
That is a terrible idea.
You can experiment on me. I'm ready.
Maybe next time.
I thought we go to school. What happened? I don't know.
Wait, are we taking the goblin in a dress with us to school?
The robes will be over my dress, not to worry.
Sort that out with him, I think.
He seems like he'll be a good bodyguard.
Yeah.
I
can be.
I'm glad nobody picked me to be a bodyguard. I am not a bodyguard.
Who asked about my weapon?
What kind of weapon do you
Or
have?
whose weapon? Oh, I have a great sword.
Okay, so yeah, he's got this sword that is more than the length of his body. Big goblin arms. Big goblin biceps.
Do you want to
I
fight?
mean, I've got this stick here and I know how to use it.
I'm envisioning like your goblin pecs kind of fill out the dress.
We talking goblin cleavage?
I think we are. Let's see that fan
I'll
art.
add that to my list of things to draw.
Okay. So what is it you think you'll do with your last night in the country?
Well, I'd like to get to know my new friends.
Let's see if I have any gold on me. But yes, I'm listening.
There's
You were just given a big bag of
Just
gold.
given like
You should have lots of gold there, Sir
3,000
Nimmer.
gold.
You don't want nibbles with that gold, but sorry, that's out of character.
and with that, Andrew will start walking towards the edge of the tent, kind of gesture out and say, if you meet me here in the first light of the day tomorrow, well, you know what? Take your time. High noon. Meet me at high noon, and we'll start our travel down to the docks. Enjoy your last night.
Yes.
That didn't sound ominous at all.
Where are we to sleep? What time of day is it?
Mid-afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah. You have you're all generally been in this area for some time. If you had an inn you were staying in, if you had a camp tent you were staying in, you have those. Anthony's offered you some barracks as well. Andrew.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
No.
Anthony is welcome to come play.
Yeah, Andrew is offering you some barracks as well.
Is there anywhere nice we could stay where we could practice being nobles?
There is
Because we have to practice.
Yeah, if you left the military quarter, Loris has all kinds of things to explore. They have the nobles quarter, if you will, the richer other side of the railroad tracks part of town. You have the slums if you're looking to slum it, industry, etc. The whole town, anything you could dream of is in this city.
Finn would know of some several places that they could go and be nobles, as they are currently full noble garb at the moment.
You would. Easily enough. So what would you like to do?
I would, of course, offer. Well, if you're interested in learning how to be a noble, I know a few places.
That sounds prudent.
Excellent. This way. I will just turn and walk out.
Okay.
I am in favor. I pick up my backpack and the bow case that I neglected to mention earlier and follow Finn.
I haven't talked much to Finn yet. I best get to know Finn. And I hop down the table and chase after.
Okay. The corgi chases the goblin.
That one's gonna be trouble.
When you roll low on your animal handling check, I'm gonna take control for short periods of time. I hope you forgive me.
Well, when Tuna runs out, Gwen is like trying to navigate how she's still going to carry her rolling pin with her with the fancy clothing.
Mm-hmm.
So she's slightly distracted, and then she sees Tuna run off, and she's like, "No, Tuna!" And she'll go follow the dog.
Okay. And you take them out of the military quarter through the marketplace. And at this time of day and in this country, in this city particularly, the streets are packed. You're finding yourself moving with the flow of traffic. You're keeping your eyes on your own pockets. While it is a nice place to live, the crowded streets and parts of people are always in question. After some time, you get to the gate, and this is you know this to be the gate to the upper city. There are some guards stationed at it, and they are there to keep out residents who don't belong. Right, the dirty and the rough. And you take a moment, you look at exactly. You take a look at them, and you might need to either talk your way through or find an alternative way of.
Okay. How many guards are there?
3.
Do I know any of them personally?
Give me a D100, and we'll see. High is always better.
Did it go through? I don't think it did.
It did not.
Okay. My internet booped for a minute there while y'all were doing stuff, so I'm going to reload the page.
Okay. You don't know any of them.
Okay. Finn would wait until the entire party is right there and just walk up like they own the place. Like, I'm meant to be here, and these people are accompanying me.
Okay. And as you walk up, they'll take the halberds and they'll make that X and they'll stop you. And one short dwarf will step up in between the crosses and say, "What do you think you're going? You, maybe. These riffs.
Who you calling riffraff?
These, you. And he points at each of you. Do you not? You look like riffraff. Don't be offended.
I'm not riffraff.
You are. You cannot play this card game with me, lady. I've been there.
Card game? You want to play a card game? We can play a card game.
Now you've got
Enough. Turns over to the guard. These rabble are coming with me. They are my new house staff because my father is an asshole. And I mean, you're welcome to kick them out, but my father says that they have to come in.
Give me a deception check, please.
Don't you dare kick me.
26 total.
With you use such a tone and with such confidence that he begins to stutter. Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, let him through. Our father says so. And he backs out of your way and the gate's open.
Excellent. I lead them to, I presume I have a place that I stay. I live here.
Okay. Yes.
To a point.
So you have.
As I pass by the guard and we kind of file by, I just look at him sidelong and raise an eyebrow and smile.
Okay. He gives you a quizzical look and then turns back to his duties. The place that you're staying, if you're staying at a fancy inn, would be the Sundried Bath. It is a 3-story inn. It doesn't have a tavern as much as it has a bar. There is a large lobby with lush carpeting. As you walk in, there is an attendant behind a desk, and then there is a series of stools off to the left behind it, which looks to be a very well-crafted table with nice and expensive wines and bottled beverages, and all the patrons sitting there are well-dressed and of the dignified sort, if you will. And the attendant...
I walk in with them.
Oh, absolutely. And the attendant stops for a minute and says, Madame, your company tonight?
Yes, unfortunately. Is the I assume they have some sort of like meeting room
You're looking, yes, absolutely. It's it turns around, starts flipping through some pages. It should be unoccupied. You are welcome to use it.
Excellent, thank you. And they will lead them into the meeting room and sit them all down and
Okay.
fire conversation.
Yep, it's a thick curtain over a wall. There's some privacy, but it's not completely silent.
Okay. Is the rest of the inn fancy bar like have conversation, light music kind of stuff?
Think more
Fancy lounge?
fancy lounge. Yeah, absolutely. More of a cigar lounge. There's some conversation. There's some sound flowing through that kind of, yeah, your voice won't travel.
Okay. Would lead them all in and set them all down and begin with. So what do you all know about being noble?
Absolutely nothing.
Like,
It's really boring. You sit there all day and give compliments to each other and sip drinks.
this one's got it correct, actually.
You're supposed to be snooty too, right?
Would you consider me snooty?
Well, I don't know about that. You seem pretty snooty with the guard, though.
I know my way around people.
What means this word? What is snooty?
Gonna like this.
She's got it.
Oh, we are going to get along like a house on fire. I am excited. All right. And then they would give a brief overview of how nobility works, what is expected.
Go ahead and give me a wisdom check. See how well you educate. Okay. You're finding it hard to speak language that they are
That they all
easily
understand.
interpreting, right? You spend the better part of an hour, and you realize you're going to need another method.
Okay. What did they say about getting us clothing and stuff? They said that would be. When would that be available?
The next day.
Next day.
Insert the somebody came up to you and did quick measurements part that I forgot to say.
That's right. Finn would take some time to figure out how this is going to be approached and go get themselves a drink.
Okay.
Tell them to take
Have a
notes.
drink and relax.
Yeah, have a drink and relax.
So as you walk out into the smoking lounge, you take a different look at a different angle. There's several groups of people, and there's one, looks to be a bunch of young men with big cigars, fancy like a fancy glass of wine. They seem to be in hushed conversation, laughing, then quietly. Not letting their laughs become boisterous and interruptive. You see a pair of young women at the bar, leaned in, having a chat, and you actually watch as another man approaches them, has a looks like a short conversation before his face droops, gets a little sad, and he walks away. You see the bartender moving, engaging customers, smiling, laughing a lot at what they're saying. You see a couple of old ladies in a corner playing with a set of cards, talking and whispering amongst themselves, looking around and pointing fingers at different people in the bar, looking over at you and pausing and hushed whispers, leaning in and talking amongst themselves and looking back at you. And that's the bar atmosphere at the moment.
Well, I don't know about you guys. You could get drinks and all, but you see those ladies over there? That's where I'm going. They look like they're having fun. And I'll scamper over there.
Okay.
No, Finn would immediately grab you by the back of the dress and drag you back into the other room. Finn has an idea.
Would you like to
This looks
contest
to
that
be
at
a
all?
problem.
He's not
I
going to
mean-
contest it yet.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
doesn't have gambling withdrawals yet.
Excellent. Don't worry, I have a plan for that actually. I'm so sorry. I have forgotten. Jesse, what's your character's name?
Gwynna.
Gwynna. Thank you, darling. Okay. Finn would walk back in, and okay. So you're clearly not the listening type. Perhaps you are more of a roleplay type. You see, there are different types of nobles that each have their own thing, and I think that you each have a nice little archetype. For example, Nibbles. There are certain nobility that pride themselves on their physical prowess. They tend to be
Listening!
they tend to be, I wouldn't say brutish, but more physically oriented, and competition, sometimes including gambling.
You're describing me to a T!
See, you're already halfway to nobility.
Are you sure you're not noble already, Nibble?
Yes, Sir Nibbles a lot, yeah.
Sir Nibbles a lot is actually quite an excellent name for you. I believe we're going to make that stick. Granite, was it?
Yes. Yes.
Excellent. You actually already had it on the nose earlier in regards to Snooty, both figuratively and literally. I think you would fit that archetype very well. Less friendly towards strangers, which I don't think you're going to have an issue with that.
I don't like strangers.
Excellent. Just make sure you hold your head a little high when you are walking past them. Give them your excellent glare, and well, you're halfway there.
I can glare.
Hmm.
I like to glare.
You do.
Let's see. And Clay, you are adorable. You're already a bookish type, and you're already an academic, which is perfect for where we're going. We just need you to, how do I put this? Compose yourself during your academics, and we should get you a pair of those little circular glasses that just sit on the end of your nose. I think those would be perfect. Yes, absolutely.
That might help.
Yes. How
I
is your
have been
vision
having
anyway?
trouble seeing.
You seem to squint a lot.
I do.
I know a guy.
It's become harder to read.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think that'll fit. Excellent. And then, Gwynna, darling. I believe that you would make the best bubbly exchange student you have ever met. And that would, your eloquent language would fit perfectly for that.
Yeah, she did just call your language eloquent.
I'm fairly certain she doesn't know what that means.
Common, not so good. Rusty.
That is the point.
What? Eloquent?
Eloquent.
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 L.
L. E.
Quent.
Quent.
L. E.
L.
Quent.
Eloquent. Eloquent.
Excellent. Perfect. You're already an academic. You're learning a new language. You're going to fit in right well. So, does everyone know their roles? Nibbles?
Yep.
What are you? You're let's call you the jock.
Yeah, I pick up the chicks and gamble.
Excellent. Perfect. That is exactly what we were going for. Granite?
I'm the snooty one.
You absolutely are. Clay?
I'm bookish but composed.
Excellent. And Gwenna?
Eloquent. Exchange. Student.
Excellent. We've got ourselves a breakfast club.
And
What about the dog? Oh, sorry, Clay. What were you saying?
I was just going to say, you all noticed that Clay is sitting up a little straighter.
All right. I think we've got ourselves a beginning. Perhaps. I think it's time for some role play. Let us have some in-character discussions. And then I don't necessarily want to go through every single one unless you want me to, but giving everyone their archetype, playing towards what they already are,
Okay.
giving them the half-truth to build on.
You may take a point of inspiration and roll a wisdom check at advantage.
I appreciate that. I'm going to use that inspiration right now. 21.
There you go. Yeah, you find just the right way to get across to them interpersonally that you believe they are beginning to grasp the foundation, and over the course of the next month, you may have something.
Perfect.
All right. So that takes the better part of the rest of the afternoon, and it's getting into the evening. You've become your own group of cackling people in the corner of the lounge. The groups have come and gone, and it's getting a little more packed. The old ladies are no longer there. There's now a larger group of women at the bar. What would you like to do?
I would like to drink.
Okay.
The only way I am hanging out with all of these people is to drink.
What drinks does everybody prefer?
It's on tap.
Oh,
Preference?
Mm.
The kind that really gets you drunk.
That's very fitting for the jock. Granite, what did you say?
I said, what's on tap?
You notice there are no taps.
What's popular?
DM, what's popular?
Let's see. Here you know that there is... So in this place particularly, there's not mead and there's not ale. It's considered beneath this establishment. But there are wines from each nation and race of ascending quality and shelf height. You'll also find various whiskeys and rums of medium to high quality.
Okay.
I for one would like a glass of their finest red.
I'd like a whiskey, please.
And
Did I do that right? Was that
That is quite... You're already a natural at this.
the bartender, noticing you eyeing the shelf and talking amongst yourself, will wander over to your table, back straight, chest out, and say, "Looks like you're ready to order. What can we serve you tonight, ladies and gentlemen?"
I look at the group and I give them the chance to order for themselves.
Could I have a couple of shots of whatever your favorite of the whiskeys is, please?
Right away. He looks over to Clay.
I would like a glass of your finest red.
What kind of clothes are you wearing?
Green, brown, just kind of sweat.
He leans in close, and he says, "Sir, our finest red runs several platinum. Are you sure?"
Of course.
"Absolutely, sir. No problem. Right away." He looks over to Granite. Not Granite, sorry. Your name's the only one I don't have on.
Gwenna?
Gwenna, thank you.
So Gwenna's trying to, she forgot the word wine. So she's going to go, elderflower, spiky juice.
Right away, ma'am. Understood. He looks to the goblin. Sir?
Yeah, and I look around and see who looks the most drunk in that place, and I go, "I'll have what they're having."
Excellent. It is the tiniest, slenderest woman in the bar, and she is drinking a margarita style glass with the big fruit. Yeah, like it's a bowl. She seems to be celebrating, right? Whatever the equivalent of fantasy dicks in your hair is, like, you know. That's a thing. Which I think is still just dicks in your hair. I don't think there's a fantasy change there.
Nope.
All right, yeah, and he put away, and he walks off, and he begins fixing a myriad of drinks, and it's a good 3 minutes before he comes back, and he hands Nibbles a very large glass of a pink liquid with a orange, like half an orange split in half on the glass. So hands the Gwen hands you a kind of a mug of reddish orange swirled in ice, kind of a crushed ice filled to the top, and then kind of this syruped orange swirl. Hands Clay a small glass of wine. It's a deep red. And then hands, to the granny, wanted a...
Whiskey.
Yes. He hands you a kind of a short glass, deep orange, just filled with deep orange liquid with a single ice cube. And places that in front of you.
Am I supposed to sip this?
Ma'am, you may do whatever you like with it. But it seems you're learning, and you seem to be an okay coach. And he takes and nods. Can I get you something too, madame?
Of course. I would like. I don't drink, so I don't know what would be fancy. But something sweet and fruity.
Okay. He'll go back and he'll make you a drink that looks very similar to the elderflower drink that Gwen got. And he'll leave you there for the night. Until you run out of drinks back in or do something else. So.
Yeah. We would also order appropriate food to pair with each beverage.
Okay. And you have a nice dinner. This was probably the nicest meal you've had. Either in some time or period, depending on your previous lifestyle. Steaks, potatoes, assortment of colorful vegetables, desserts, breads. It's all brought out. And this place's primary purpose isn't food, so you only suspect that if it was, it could get a little more grand. It's so much that you have to move yourself from the small... kind of the dining lounge table to a full-size table to consume the meal, and before you know it, several hours have gone by. The crowd thickens again as a bard begins to play music in the lounge as you're finishing the last remnants of your plate, and that's where we'll take a short 10-minute break. Join us again in 10 minutes at 7:33, and we'll see what happens with this fancy party.
Woohoo! Fancy party!
Fancy party! Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We last left off. They're already getting down the dancing part. That's awesome. It's great because they can't hear the music, but I can, and then I dance, and then I'm every time you see them dance, they're just doing it for me. So yes, we left off, and you had finished a very nice meal in a very nice place, taking some time to observe the niceties. Now, you were still getting strange looks. Your dress and your mannerisms don't sync up with the society. But nobody bothered you. This is still a nice part of town. Your bill came to 5 platinum. 3 of which was the wine, and the rest of 2 was the rest of the meal.
Finn will actually get all of it.
Oh, you will?
Yeah, Finn will take it all. Or give it all. Apparently my currency didn't save. It was 300 and then 235, right?
235 gold, 300 platinum.
Excellent. We're good.
Okay.
I'll give an extra platinum as a tip because he had to put up with our weird people.
Okay. And with that, I'd say the night is here. What would you like to do with your time?
Getting in a good long rest would be a good idea.
So this is after the party, right?
Well, I mean, you're at the bar or at the lounge. Everything's still lively, but it's 10:30. You know that typically these things can go until 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Is that one lady with the dicks in her hair still around?
They have moved on. They were only at the bar for about an hour total.
Then they got into an extra long carriage.
Went 5 feet down the road, went to another bar. Oh, I get it. It's like Medusa, but with dicks.
Add that to my fan art list. Finn is gonna try and read the room and get an eye on. I know we're gonna be getting weird looks, but what kind of looks
Okay.
that we're getting?
Give me 2
Any
rolls.
hostile or anything?
1 perception and 1 insight.
Insight.
I'm really gonna need a not safe for work hard section. Okay.
I
Wow,
am the most
that is-
perceptive.
Okay,
Nice.
so we'll say that for the sake of that roll, you've been paying pretty good attention for the last 10 minutes while finishing your meal and paying for the check. In this part of town, that's still, I mean, still a lot of money, but it's not, you're going to get robbed money. If you were flashing around that platinum in the lower city, you might have some suspicious looks. You get a couple of nods of appreciation from a couple people. They're kind of like, huh, okay. But nothing
Kind of showing
threatening.
a status thing. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even people with money don't throw around a lot of money for the sake of throwing around a lot of money, or they wouldn't have a lot of money.
Part of the reason Finn wanted to be the one who paid is I didn't want everyone in the bar to know that we all have giant bags of money. So that was my intent. Thank you.
That's good.
Nibbles will look for the most wasted single lady in there.
Give me a perception check and an insight check.
Looks does not matter to Nibbles, just wasted and single. But yes.
All right. Red a single ladies.
Perception.
Okay. There are definitely there's a group of older women who are And I guess, thinking and visualize a less crowded club, older crowd. Nobody's falling over drunk. They kind of have this mixture of enjoying themselves, but aware that, this is also a professional environment for a lot of them. But there is a crowd of older women in their 40s, dwarf, and 2 humans, and they seem to be the most intoxicated, but they are not impaired.
Yeah, he'll saunter over there and be like, hello, name's Nibbles. And you guys' names?
Let's see how this. Give me a charisma check, just a flat charisma check.
So intrigued by this goblin creature.
I definitely have trouble navigating 2 places. Charisma. There we are. Ugh, that's fitting.
The two older humans, they just ignore you, turn away, and start having a conversation in another direction. The dwarf, with a good bit of growth, dark red hair, looks at you, turns her head a bit, and goes, why the hell not? How you doing?
I'm doing quite well. I can see they're not interested in seeing my magic tricks. Would you like to care to see one?
Only if you can make it disappear.
Oh, that's not the magic trick I had to offer.
Like she leans in and just gives you a wink.
Oh, I'll show you that trick in a minute. But really, I do want to show you this trick. And then he continues to try to show like the bar parlor tricks, like two glasses with a napkin with the coin. Like, hey, I bet you can't keep this coin on top of the napkin with the 2 glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And it.
You choose what you're gonna roll there, and I'll interpret.
Oh, okay. Well, essentially, after a little while, after I assume the dwarf doesn't figure it out, because that's how it usually happens. The girl does it first, or that said person.
I'm unfamiliar with this trick, so I'm trying to learn this as you.
Oh, okay. Okay, it's like this, and he takes the napkin and he scrunches it up, kind of like an accordion, and sets it on the 2 glasses and puts the coin in the center, and it holds because of the angles of the napkin. Versus if you have
It's actually
a
a really cool trick.
Yeah.
Give me a performance check.
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
She takes a moment and she's trying to puzzle it out. And when you show her, she goes, "Well, ain't that fancy? You don't see that everywhere. Hey, fuck him. Hey, fuck you."
Oh, yeah. I'm trying too hard, ain't I? How about we go get a room?
Just grabs you by the scruff of the neck and starts dragging you away.
By the way,
Do you think he's good?
Is he doing it right? That doesn't seem so noble to me.
I would like to make an insight on this little old lady to see if this him getting robbed.
Okay.
Where's my character sheet? Why did D&D Beyond leave me?
I guess a dwarf in her 40s would be like a dwarf in her 600s. That's about right. That sounds right.
That tracks.
Nibbles will learn so much.
All right. You're rolling insight?
I'm just gonna roll because D&D Beyond is being a poop.
That's fair. Okay. With a 19, this dwarf does not seem to bear any ill intentions. None like no. I'm gonna rob. You're not getting the. He's gonna get robbed aura. Yeah. You're getting like he's gonna get taken advantage of
Okay.
aura, and that's probably about it.
Only
So-
the way he's.
What is everybody else doing?
Clay is less worried about whether he's going to get robbed or anything, and more worried about he doesn't seem to be acting noble.
Okay. So you're just sitting there trying to like keep remembering to like lift your shoulders up and then they're lower, and you're lifting them up again.
Exactly.
Okay.
He feels so self-conscious. A little bit like a turd in a punch bowl, you know.
Fair enough. It'll be that confidence that comes with time. What about Gwen?
Gwenna is a little confused by the customs. She hasn't quite got the hang of all of them yet. But from what she's seeing, she's not sure she likes it. So she's going to try to have Tuna fetch and try to pull Nibbles back.
Okay. Give me.
Goblin.
You may give me an animal handling check.
That actually sounds like what the woman was trying
the
to do. That's the goblin. It's a game.
Okay. Hold on. There it is.
You goes to. Tuna looks over in that direction, but instead of focusing in on Nibbles, Tuna sees another dog. This dog is in a purse of another lady, and just starts yipping at the heels of this other woman who looks a bit shocked and frightened at first. Starts trying to shoo Tuna away with her ankles. Oh, beast! Oh, whose mutt is this? Shoo!
Mutt. She'll look over to Gritty.
Tuna, a
What is
mutt?
mutt?
Mixed. And I'll call Tuna
Okay,
back.
you can give me an animal handling check.
Yeah, let's do that. It's not gonna be.
Okay. Tuna is distracted long enough, hears your voice, and rushes over and jumps into your arms.
I will hand Tuna back to Gwenna.
He's super excited. He's wiggling around like a little barrel, and he's licking your face.
Just pet and pass.
Goblin.
Pass.
Pet, pass.
Ah.
Okay. Anything that Granite would like to do?
No.
Okay. And
I feel like that was actually her thinking too.
She's gonna just sip her whiskey and mean mug everybody around her.
okay. The night then
Perfect.
will go more or less eventless. There's no fights that you might be used to in taverns. There's a couple more rejections and acceptance going on in the bar. You kind of see this ritual of courting and talking. None of it as violent as Nibbles being dragged off.
And what's to come?
And then
Phrasing.
yeah, phrasing. And the night happens, and the dawn comes. Phrasing. As you each come down from your respective places, meeting back again in the lobby the next day.
Is there breakfast?
There is a continental breakfast.
Heck yeah.
I want to say I come down with 2 black eyes.
Okay. You have the goblin has 2 bruised eyes. We see inflamed red and black. Is he happy about it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He ran in. He hit his head on the nightstand. Twice.
Are you saying that to me?
That's my guess. But yes.
Yeah, we'll say the nightstand hit me twice to make me obey.
Play is uncomfortable.
I'll hand him the
Yes.
sandwich that I just made out of bagels and bacon.
So,
It's the sandwich.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I'm done.
Oh.
he hands it back, and there's a tooth in it.
Do they have a club sandwich for breakfast?
They have toast and bacon, eggs, oatmeal, and a fantasy waffle maker.
Gwenna's all over the waffle maker.
I am definitely going to have some fantasy waffles.
They're like regular waffles, but they're not real. They're fantasy.
Yeah. Waffles that are fantasy, or
Yeah, it's a simple mixture of batter that normally hotcakes are made of. These, extra sugar, milk, flour, whatever. Waffles are actually made out of, and it's a cast iron press. It looks to be magically heated.
I'm sure they taste absolutely divine.
They taste pretty okay.
They taste okay? Like mediocre?
Yeah, they taste like hotel waffles.
Gwenna's not having that.
Well, no, we don't have time.
You could do better with time.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
she's not listening. She's gonna try. She's gonna try and get at that batter.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
Okay, so there is a pitcher of batter on the table, and there's the what would you like to do?
Well, she's got like a few spices and she's got like a few nuts that she's collected. She's got like this hoard
Okay.
of.
She's a druid. Of course she does.
You got a pocket full of nuts. Just pulling out berries and dumping them in. Okay.
Like smelling it first, making sure it's fresh enough, then like chopping stuff up real
Okay.
quick and like throwing it in the batter.
You may either give me a cooking utensils check or a nature check.
Okay, let's go with nature.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, with a 22, you find the right flavors to pair with the batter's current consistency and flavor, and it gives it it's like a sweet walnut blueberry pancake at the end, which goes perfect with the syrup and the powdered sugar as you bring over an exquisite waffle.
Always time. See? Time. Good.
She's right.
It's good food.
You're right. You are correct.
Yes,
Hey,
I am.
hey, Gwenna.
Eh?
Would you be so kind as to make one of those for me? That looks delicious.
No, go over and make another one.
And the entire pitcher of batter has already been pre-positioned, so you just have to pour it in and you make a couple more waffles. And
I'm going to enjoy my delicious waffle.
those who make or consume these waffles may also have a point of inspiration.
Oh,
Damn it.
Okay. What would you like to do?
Well, how long until high noon?
You think if you started walking down, took your time, you'd have about an hour left.
Okay. I think we should head out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready. Let's get moving. I'm not doing anything, so let's do something.
as you make your way through the upper city, it's much easier to exit. New set of guards. You work your way down to lower city, back into the military quarter, and as you approach the tents, you can see Andrew Perkins looking back at you. He says, "Oh, excellent! You're here a little bit early. That's fantastic. We do have some clothes we'd like to get you into. Please, this way, this way." As he leads you back into the tent, and there are several chests that are open, and he guides each of you to your own personal chest of clothes. It includes some extra pouches, some belts, each with an insignia in it for like a ring that could also be used for a wax seal press, each unique to the three of you. The other two, your clothes are a little more simple but still fine. Like, so the bodyguard's clothes simpler but still fine, and these are definitely noble's clothes and pressed and sealed wax. You get the idea. What color are each of your individual chests? The clothes have
Blue.
a color theme. Okay, purple, blue,
Green, brown.
green, brown,
Blacks and grays.
blacks and grays.
Probably teal purple.
Okay, teal, purple. And the bodyguards, you have extra mobility in these. The slits have been cut out so you can move. The fancier clothes allow for mobility, but riding a horse, for example, may tear it in places, and it's not meant for combat. And he says, "Excellent. Please get dressed, and then we will make our way to the docks."
I just throw the robe right over my dress and tie it tight. Perfect! It fits so well! I'm glad you took the measurements with the dress on.
It is, it was part of the consideration. We weren't sure why you must wear the dress, but we're not one to question the adventurers and their unique personalities. We have learned over the years it is best if we just let you have your silliness.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question. Do
I
I
have
wear my
answers.
leather armor under or over these clothes?
See, the underclothes, and then the first layer you wear under, and then the leather armor on top, and then there's an overcoat if you prefer, if the weather is cold, which it very much is once you get up into the northern regions of the continent into Ekton's territory.
Very good.
It looks quite stunning. I hope it fits you well.
I can move quite right in these.
Yes, we made extra room in the crotch for you.
But
Gusset.
I can't swing. I can't swing an axe.
I do believe if you have to swing an axe, you will be able to. It may rip. But you will be able to break the seams. They're kind of breakaway, so be careful.
And is that normal?
I mean, it is when we send our best agents. Oh, I mean, also when we send our okay agents, which is going to you.
Finn looks distinctly offended.
Good, keep that look. It will fit right at home in Ekton's territory.
Clay mutters fair under his breath.
Do you have any more questions before we make our way to the docks? We have some time.
Well, Gwyneth's kind of looking around at the robes she's just put on, or the outfit she's just put on, and she's you see her holding her rolling pin in her hand, and she's just kind of like,
Ooh, we thought of this one. We thought of this one.
where?
He walks away, goes around the back side of the tent, comes back, and he's got a large handbag. And he says, "This is for the rolling pin and the corgi."
That is a big bag.
Tuna! So she's very excited about putting tuna in a bag. Whether or not tuna is actually going to go in the bag is an entirely different question.
We hope that maybe you figured it out by the time you make it there. It is a high fashion accessory. A dog is...
But it has to be in the purse. I've been watching.
Okay. So she'll take out a dog treat and just kind of like show it to Tuna and then put it in the bag.
Give me another animal handling check at disadvantage.
God damn it. This is supposed to be my emotional support animal. What's going on here?
I'm so stressed out.
Okay. There's that one.
Okay. It'll be enough to get the dog in the bag. And the next time you roll, it will be at normal, not disadvantage or advantage.
Okay.
With the dog treat. And if you can break the next barrier, we'll go to advantage. Okay.
Should we go to the boat?
I would love to show you the boat. We got ourselves a fancy captain. He's worked with us a few times, and he has just purchased a brand new ship.
A fancy captain.
It is a fancy captain and a brand new ship. Just off of the docks, it is just been finished less than a month ago. One voyage. You are the second voyage. And as he's leading you out, as he's saying this, the captain himself, a little rough around the edges, but he's good. He's discreet, and that's what we need, as he has accepted the long way around. He's getting rid of a lot of business. And as you get to the docks, you see this long ship. It's a medium size. It is brand new. You can see the paint is fresh. It's got the planks are stained a beautiful deep brown, and at the front, ready to greet you, is this tall elven man with a long coat and a tricorn hat. He's got a rapier on his side, and he says, "Hello, you're the new customers. Customers is what I'm looking for. Welcome aboard the Pixie." And he steps away and he gestures to the boat.
Clay, as soon as he sees this elf, reaches up almost involuntarily and checks that his hair is covering his ears.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
Stealth check. That's a good one.
Okay. You managed to make it look natural, and you feel like it was not noticed.
Hello, Captain, and I apologize. I didn't tell us. What is your name?
Oh, you can just call me Luscious.
Wait, did we get a description of Luscious yet?
So, aside from the coat and the tricorn hat, he's got long blonde hair. It's kind of a whitish blonde. Eyes are a
Breaking my heart, Casey.
bright blue. His ears closer to the head. You can see like the hat kind of pushes him down a bit. He's got a series of rings in both sides of his ears. He's ruffled collar, ruffled sleeves, thigh length boots. Seems very flamboyant and fashionable, as his gestures are flowy and eloquent.
Well, so we're welcome aboard, so we can come on and get to business, right?
You're welcome. Absolutely. This way. We have cabins prepared just for you.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. The pay was fine. And he leads you downstairs to a series of 4 rooms that have some basic amenities, beds, dressers. There's a chest attached to the floor. He says, "Make yourself at home. We'll be sailing really once we finish preparations."
Can we help prepare?
Of course not. You're my guests. But you're welcome to walk around and watch.
All right.
That's what I'll spend my time doing.
Remember to be snooty, Nibbles.
I was gonna say,
No, I'm
Finn
supposed to
leans
pick up the
over.
ladies.
Oh, yes.
And I
that's
instantly
right.
start looking
That's
for
right.
ladies now that he reminded me.
Finn leans over to Nibbles and says, the nobles don't help the help.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, I'll just pick up the ladies.
Okay.
Off I go.
As you walk around and walk around the ship, everybody's either scrubbing or tying, and coils of rope, supplies are being loaded. There's a lot of supplies being loaded. You notice 0 ladies. There is not a woman on the boat except those in which you came with. There are a lot of attractive men.
I'll have to figure out. Yeah, I turn back to go back to Spoopy. What's your character's name?
Finn,
Finn.
Finn, rules on this. Ladies, does it? Can I pick up a man?
I mean, you're more than welcome to try. I'm certainly not going to stop you.
I'm up for the challenge. And then yeah, right back to it.
Okay.
I
Give-
fully endorse this.
Okay. As you begin to gaze and gander, give me a charisma check.
I'm gonna do that at disadvantage because I'm gonna say this will be his first time looking out for men. So I don't think he has a flavor yet.
Okay.
You said what type of check? Sorry.
Charisma.
Charisma. Okay. Perfect. I was just there.
Okay.
Wow.
Did
Yeah,
it do
you're being
2?
very-
I only heard 1.
I saw 2.
It went to.
Okay.
Taking a look around the boat, you see there are some large burly fellas. There's some slender half elves. There's a couple of dwarves. Most of them aren't returning any kind of response to your, well, we'll call it leering. Is leering a good word? But there is a particularly scruffy looking goblin that you notice and notices you, and you kind of catch eyes, and you're not sure if you're getting any read on him.
Checkmate. and I straight walk away because I know it's gonna take some time, but I'm gonna work on him all shift long.
Okay. So
That'll keep him busy.
as you're settling in, there's a knock on your door, and you hear Captain Luscious from the outside say, "We're departing in just a moment. Please hold on. The first few gusts of wind might sweep you off your feet a little harder than I do." And with that, he walks back out. You hear his footsteps moving away, and indeed, the wind catches the sails as they unfurl, and there's a jolt at first as the boat, as the pixie takes off into the ocean. Almost had a phone disaster. Oh, she's freezing on us. Maybe she got a phone call. Maybe I'm freezing. Nope. Okay, you guys
She
are
moved
moving.
for a minute.
No.
Okay. By the way, Red Bull, second one. We're going. Oh wait, there's more Red Bull in the can. 1 second.
Please don't have a heart attack on stream. Or at all.
Pour it all. I played too much World of Warcraft last night, and then I realized I had to be awake at 5. Welcome back.
There we go.
Where's Tuna right now?
Well, where is
In
she?
the bag or out of the bag?
I don't know. I know Gwenna would like her to be in the bag. Tuna probably doesn't want to be in the bag.
Okay.
So they're probably struggling right now.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as Luscious said, hang on, I just plopped down on the floor. I'm going to see if I can get Tuna to come over and hang out.
Okay. Animal handling check, please.
Woohoo, animal handling.
I mean, so Tuna's back and forth around the room, to the bag, out of the bag. Like you pick him up, you put him in the bag, he jumps out. And it's this game of tug of war, and he will move over to Clay and sniff and accept being petted.
Okay.
Clay, not helping.
I give Tuna some scritches.
Ugh.
Tuna will sense your frustration, and then he'll start licking your face.
You lucky you're cute. You lucky.
Who, Tuna?
Yeah.
He is talking to
Oh,
the
okay.
dog.
Okay. I was just making sure because nobody's ever called me cute, so I was making sure.
Corgis are fun. And with that, you're off, and the boat takes off into the sea.
Wild Blue Yonder?
Wild Blue Yonder. And instead of role-playing 30 individual days, let's do 4 weeks. So, what would you like to do, or attempt to do, during your first week at sea?
Finn is definitely doing classes every day.
Okay.
Maybe 5 days a week.
5 days a week? All right. So let me get a wisdom roll for your first week of classes. Okay. With an 18, each of you may understand as much of noble society as you think your characters deserve to at an 18. Whether or not you are good at implementing it or agree with it is up to you. But she got across a pretty good fair amount. It's starting to click with this repetition. And you've had some practice dinner parties, some conversation. You've practiced being rude to each other.
Learning how to properly put your clothes on, because that's surprisingly tricky.
I have a question for Finn. Are the clothes supposed to itch this much?
If they're not itching, they don't fit properly.
Okay.
So there are some modifications we could probably make.
Okay.
And
I'm not used to
Finn
itchy
would-
clothing.
All right. What would Nibbles like to do for his first week?
Since this is his first time trying to woo a guy, he's gonna nervously go up to him and just berate him with questions like, "What's your favorite hobby? What do you do on the weekends? What do you like to do for fun?" You know,
Okay.
just constantly.
Give me a charisma check. Okay. So for this week, he doesn't speak back. He doesn't answer. More than grunts and as he's working. Every time you're at him, he's like trying to do work, trying to pull sails down, coil rope, and he keeps looking back at you. But you notice after a week, the grunts stop coming. He stops kind of barking and hissing at you, and just by the 5th day is just listening to you. However much you keep up your questions when he doesn't respond is up to you.
Such that is progress, and he's actually listening to me. Yeah, he'll stop with the questions so much as just talk to him, such he's listening, and he's not grunting. So it's just like, my day was good. The sun's beautiful. It's just such a good time to hang out with you. I'm glad we get to do this daily.
Okay. Daily. Okay. What is Gwenna doing for the week?
So when she's not with the group doing lessons, she kind of tries to sneak away to the galley.
Okay.
And she's observing meal preparation, but she's also kind of like checking out the ingredients, and she'll sniff one occasionally and then put it back. And there might be like one or two that she'll kind of look at the cook and be like, "Take little." And you can see that she's trying to like gather tiny little packets.
Okay. Packets
Like, just-
of Ingredients?
Odd, specifically like odd looking things like mushrooms she's never seen before, or like a fungus or a mold. Like it's kind of all over the place,
Go
but
ahead
she's
and
definitely collecting.
go ahead and give me a nature check.
What is nature? Nature is
Okay. The cook is a man of a man who personality, loves to tell jokes and talk to whoever was willing to listen. Whether or not you follow most of his conversation or get his jokes is up to you. But you do manage to find a handful of unique spices that he lets you take as kind of, you get the sense of like, thanks for hanging out. But he will not let you near the pot, no matter what you insist on. And he's not doing a better job than you at cooking. It's just his pot.
and Gwenna respects that. Is like she won't let him touch her rolling pin.
Okay.
So she gets it.
What about you, Clay?
Clay was hoping that, so he knows of a book called The Peculiar Habits of the Nobility of not Ectune, but another adjacent region that I cannot remember the name of.
Okay.
But he was hoping he brought that book, but he looked through his backpack, and instead what he had was the plant species of Ectune.
Okay.
So he's like, oh, okay, I'll read this. So he's basically reading his book and learning his nobling.
Okay.
And he is probably going to try to get, at some point in some downtime, he wants to know what's up with Granite, and has been trying to figure out how to like start a conversation, but she seems kind of standoffish.
Okay.
So he's not sure what
How
to
to
do
break
about
down
that.
Granite's walls.
Give me, just roll me an insight. See what I do with an insight check.
Okay. That's not bad.
Okay. Granite, he's not very good at hiding it, but he is trying to. And anytime you've had conversations or in lessons, you get the sense he's trying to understand you. To what purpose, you're unsure. Would he, over the course of a week, does a 21 break any barriers or give him anything, any of your personality traits? You're welcome to be as standoffish as you like. This is an example of PvP in my mind, so it's up to you to decide what that is.
He would definitely gather that I like to fight in a week. Like I enjoy my battle axe, and I enjoy using it.
Okay. Yeah, so you notice over the course of a week she trains. Of the group of you, she seems, and stop me if I'm saying anything in the wrong direction, disciplined. And she's honing the ability to take this axe, swing it into objects, and continue to push through said objects, whether it be some wood that was lent to her or just the air. It's regimented. More than Nibbles' occasional rage.
Okay.
I haven't raged once. Everything's been going my way.
Does she pray often or at all?
She meditates. I'm not sure she prays yet. I'm
Okay.
waiting till we get to level whatever it is where I have to choose.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's what I do. I'm observing and and reading and trying to learn.
Give me an intelligence check, please.
Oh, this will be. There it is. Nope, come on.
Okay. So with the 17, as you're reading through the plants of Actune, then you are getting low on books you haven't read in a while. So new books will be something you will want to look for later. You learned that a lot of the plants up in his territory have to be all weather. A lot of pines, flowers that survive well in cold weather. Not a lot of fruits, but ground and root vegetables are a staple. It kind of goes into all the general vegetation. And then it even has asides to which animals live off of those individual vegetations as a kind of a total ecosystem. So this may or may not be a resource for wildlife and animals and the such.
Okay.
And last but not
noted.
least, Granite. What does Granite do for her week?
I would like to train with my axe. I would like to chat with other people on the boat. Are there like what are the other people on the boat? Are there like crew and other passengers, or are we the only passengers?
You are the only passengers. There are other empty rooms, but it looks like you have been your journey is not a journey anybody else is taking with you. The crew seems high in morale. You get the sense that they were paid well, even though it is a long journey. They like that which pays well, and that is you and the army of Loros. This is a private contractor. They're not part of the Navy. You find that Loros does often work with private contractors like this. Their Navy is limited to defense and offense and not the mercantile ships, which they, of course, leave to Chrolome and said contractors. You learn that they're excited. As in the next couple days, at the end of the week, they should be docking in De Minimu's territory for a refresh of supplies, and that might mean shore leave in the most exotic party town in the world.
Minimos, isn't that all the way on the other side? Is that after we?
So if you're looking on the map on the stream, that is the place in the right here. My mouse is circling over it with all the houses, and it is just a town of. This is Las Vegas. This is every person here is in a near constant state of what's it called? Excess. They love their drink. They love their partying. Their dancing. They're smoking. Their
Are we going around
drugs.
counterclockwise?
You are going around counterclockwise. You are going the long way around.
Neat. I want shore leave in Daminimo. I can say that word.
And so let's give me a persuasion check for you as you express that thought to the Captain Luscious.
Oh, the captain is here, is he?
Well, he's on his boat.
Oh.
With a 7, Luscious will say, Darling, if I stop there, I might lose crew. That is a temptation I don't think we can afford right now.
Darn it.
We're going to stop, we're going to get our supplies, and we'll be out of there before our crew has a chance to mutiny me. But you're welcome to step off the boat, but I'm leaving in an hour.
No, that doesn't sound like fun. That sounds like a trap, Casey.
2 options and an open end. And the end of the week.
On the boat.
Okay, well, the end of the week comes, And the ship does, in fact, dock at Dominimo's main port city. And it is dozens of large piers extending hundreds of meters out into the sea with smaller piers and boats. And as you approach, anybody who is watching can see from the shoreline that there's a party that begins at the end of the docks. A mass of just streamers and bodies. Balloons are constantly floating in the air. There's actually a float of anybody who's well read of the god Dominimo. He is a larger gentleman leaned back on a picture. You seen Futurama? You know that gold-plated
Yes.
robot, the Greek
Yes.
gold-plated robot. He's kind of in that pose and in that shape, but it is a man, and he's a beautiful man in the balloon. But he's leaned back and he's eating grapes, and there's music. You can't make out an individual tune because it's a cacophony of different bands and bards, and all the sailors they're doing their job of sailing and moving and getting the ship anchored, but their attention is definitely on the shore, and you can tell they're more upset today than they have been in the entire journey because they have been told they can't get off.
Phrasing.
Um,
Oh man.
and the boat will dock. And the captain leans against the planks, and his arms crossed, and he's got this not agitated look on his face, but just this I'm serious look for probably the first time. A little more rigid as he's watching each of his men start moving goods back and forth onto the ship. Would anybody like to do anything in this time?
Is my goblin boy working away?
Absolutely. Mostly on ropes. He's been climbing up, doing rigging, checking ropes, doing inspections.
Okay. As long as nobody's looking, I'm gonna sneak on over to him and be like, "Hey, I don't know about you, but I kind of want to check this place out. You think we could sneak away?"
Give me a persuasion check. Yeah, I won't give you advantage because I don't want you to think I'm trying to get you off the boat. He looks at you, and then back around, and he says, "Meet me in the cabin in 1 minute."
Okay. I run over to the cabin.
Okay. Let's see. My druids may give me a insight check. High perception, high wisdom players. I think they're all just showing up late on my other screen. Let me pull my...
I
Okay.
must have done it wrong. Mine said to GM for some reason.
Yep, I see it now. With a 17, which is what you got. I mean, you see him. He's obviously up to something. But he's going deeper into the ship. And you get down into the crew cabins. And about a minute later, the other goblin, whose name you now know is Snitch. He says, if we crawl out the window and we're quick, we could probably see like one thing.
Deal. Let's go fast. And I already start hurtling myself out, and I'm like, "Come on!"
He pushes you out, and you stumble kind of onto the dock. Let me get a stealth check from you, if you would like to make a stealth check.
I think I would at this point. We've...
Okay, that's not horrible, and there's a lot of commotion. The captain's definitely focused on his own people on the boat, and you and Snitch, you get out and you start moving down the docks, and it is a mass of people. It looks like there's a festival happening, and you notice immediately the streets are filthy. They are. It looks like you ever seen kind of a street festival the next day?
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine if they didn't clean that up, but instead had a festival the next day. And then it cleaned that up and instead had a festival the next day. I didn't clean that up and instead had a festival. You're at about day 4 of whatever was going on here. It's just cups and spilled ale, just that smell and aroma. Nobody seems to mind. There is not a... But there also doesn't seem to be a person in... who's not out of their mind on something.
I know exactly what we're gonna do. Okay, Snitch. We're gonna go and try to find. We're gonna go to a tavern and we're gonna get an import of some sort. Something I've never had before. Are you interested?
That's one thing. Yep, let's do that one thing.
All right, let's go.
And you start pushing through the crowd. It's easy enough with people moving around to find a path. And when people see you, they get out of your way. Nobody's freaking out. What is everybody else doing at this time?
About 10 minutes after, like, I noticed something was up with Nibbles. But about 10 minutes after that, I'm like, I wonder what the goblin's doing. And so I'll ask Finn, hey, where'd the goblin go?
I don't know.
He was acting weird earlier.
How so?
Kind of sneaking around a little bit.
Sneaking where?
Oh, he was hanging out with that goblin he was into earlier.
Oh. Well, then I have a pretty good idea where he is. I'm impressed. It only took him a week.
And your cover is safe.
Yeah. I was thinking about it. I was like, damn, I should have did the sock trick.
I would not suggest going into this cabin anytime soon.
All right. I go back to reading.
What about Gwenna?
Gwenna's probably gonna watch the festivities from where she is. She doesn't actually want to go into them. Because she likes people. She just doesn't like being smushed. And she gets the feeling she would be smushed.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check. Okay. With an 11 from where you're at, you're kind of scanning the crowd. What does stick out to you are the food stalls. There seems to be a variety of meat on sticks with meat on sticks and dough, and other kinds of meats on sticks with glaze, and it's a general meat and stick thing.
Let's go get one of those meats on a stick with a dough on around it. It smells so good.
Meat on meat on meat on meat. Why so much meat?
No, the one with the dough around it.
You eat the meat. I get dough.
I want the meat and the dough.
Okay, so I get meat and dough. I give you my meat. I keep dough.
Okay, deal.
Okay.
And as you push past the end of the dock, Captain Luscious says, well, we'll be pushing off in about 25 minutes, but I'm not going anywhere without you, so please hurry. I can't hold my men back for long.
We're just getting meat on a stick.
Mhm.
So that's what they're looking for too. Um,
Do you think that the meat on the stick with the guy is his wagon on wheels?
and so you make your way off the dock, and it's you get to the central festival, and there are several options. You see that there's a gentleman advertising fish on a stick. There's a gentleman advertising shark on a stick. There is a bear on a stick, alligator on a stick, and pig on a stick. And each one of them has a dough option and a non-dough option. And they have several glazes and syrups and toppings that they're squeezing on the top of it. And you have your pick of them all. They're all yeah, right. They're all 5 copper each.
Gwyneth's going for the fish. She's all about the fish.
Okay. And there are definitely a variety of fish. And he grabs the man is 1 fish for the lady. He grabs a stick, fish already on it. What's your glaze, darling?
I
You see like a spicy mustard looking thing, regular mustard, a honey. There's something close to a barbecue, and there's some other sugary dark. We can do the combos.
Honey.
And he'll generously, a very generous amount of honey, and he'll hand you the stick as it's kind of dripping down. I'd appreciate it if you took this before I got there. It is. Enjoy it, darling.
Thank you. And she's like trying to shift Tuna away and like hold the stick
All right, he's very.
so she's not like dripping on the
Please
dog.
tell me it's tuna on a stick.
No, it's not tuna. It can't be tuna on a stick.
No, it is not.
I want the bear on a stick.
And you walk up to the bear stall, and there's a line for the bear stall, and a couple minutes go by, and you get to the front, and a woman at the edge of the stall, she gestures to her selection. She says, "Well, what can I get you? We've got the hind, we've got the shoulder, we've even got the claw this time."
Give me the claw.
Getting a bear claw.
And it is a chunk of meat. Looks like they've taken the bear from wrist up and stripped all the fur and the bones, and it is and then carved it a little extra to make it look like a claw. And she says fresh batter, or you want some glaze? The batter and the glaze.
The batter and the glaze.
We could do the batter and the glaze. You look like you like the batter. We could do a double batter.
Yes, please.
Well, she takes it out of that one, and she moves it over to another batter, a darker batter, and swirls it in that, and then starts gesturing to the glazes. I recommend the honey.
Yeah, sure, that one.
And
And what's the red one?
Oh, spicy.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, all right. And she puts the bear claw down, takes both bottles, and squeezes them across back and forth, and it is this large, like it's physically a bear claw, and this one is a gold.
Guna, it's all yours here.
But
Guna, look at this. It's amazing.
I see.
Okay, let's go back. I'm ready to go back to the ship now.
Okay.
All right. And as you make it past the crowd of people, and the smell of the spilled booze and the ale fades away, and you get more of that fresh sea air, the bear claw and the fish smell really hits you, and it smells fantastic.
This is amazing. It's double battered, Gwyna.
Yeah, but yeah, lots of batter. You're gonna feel that later.
I don't feel anything.
And we'll cut back over to the 2 goblins who have, as you're pushing through the crowd, you're having to move through to each side of the street, to find what you're looking for. The first place you come into is like an elaborate smoke shop. The next one's a candy store. On the other side, back to the side, you get to a large alcohol with a focus on whiskeys. There's just a sugar shop that sells sugar. The fifth place you run into is a tavern. And the crowd is... It's thick, but it's not as thick as the streets, which seems to be the main festival. As you're moving through, dancing and sweating bodies, the smoke is rising through the crowd in various points.
Barkeep, looking for a particular drink, something that you can't find anywhere else.
Oh, hey there, little fella. You looking for the All right. We got a couple options. We got things that are gonna hit you hard, and things that aren't gonna hit you hard, and then things that are gonna hit you even harder than that. You can't get these three things anywhere else.
I didn't expect 3. I expected maybe 1.
Oh, where you think you're at? You at the Dominimos. You at the Dominimos Islands #1 tavern. That's me.
Yep. We'll take 1 of each to sample between the 2 of us, and then we'll get a keg of whichever one we like.
Oh, well, we could do that, little man. I'm gonna have to see some money. It's gonna be at least 10 gold for the samplings.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's more than I expected. Which one costs so much?
It's the I can't just open the bottle. We only sell by the bottle, so you're gonna have to sample the bottle, and then I'm gonna have to get the keg. 10 gold includes the keg, but let's just get all this business out front. I don't need to be playing games here.
All right. I've got 10 gold.
That's what all right. Throw it around, little goblin. All right. And he hands you. It's a bottle. It's got a label that says "That's me," and then "That's me lesser," and then "That's me greater."
Great.
You can look at the bottles, and they seem to have. So, "That's me" is a deep brown, and you can see. Even like a. Imagine if you could have whiskey pulp. You see the pulp kind of moving around, and at the bottom.
I literally already want this one. Like, I'm done. If that's what he sees, that's what he gets.
Well, the other ones are varying grades of pulp, but the greater has pulp and whole berries at the bottom.
I'd like more.
Oh, you're looking for the more. All right. We can get that. And he walks back, and he brings back a, let's call it like a forearm length thigh with barrel. Mm-hmm. And he says, "Here you go, little fella. Don't forget to tell people when they ask where you got it. You say, 'That's me at Dominimos Islands #1 tavern.'"
Yep. Not a problem. I'll definitely share the word after they get drunk off this. And Snitch, want to help?
Yeah, all right. That's me. And he grabs the, and it's heavy, and you definitely need his help as you kind of move through the crowd again. You're having to be more forceful as you're moving back to the boat. And you can see the as you get back to the ship, the captain's kind of looking up at the sun, looking around back at his people, and he sees you, and he goes, and then he sees Snitch, and he puts his hand in his palm. And the crew starts to shout. And it is a lot of, "Why the fuck did he get to go off the boat? That little motherfucker did. You said we couldn't go, and you let Snitch on." And it's just a general...
Hold it, everyone! Hold it! I stole him! He had no idea. It's my fault, not his. Get off!
Give me a persuasion check.
You still have the inspiration.
Oh, I didn't eat the waffle.
Oh, you didn't.
Oh, right.
Oh.
And Oh, jeez. They a couple of them walk away. 3 of them in particular don't. And they are around the captain in like a semicircle, and they're not quite shouting, but they're not being polite. And this is some bullshit, Captain. You know, we all wanted a little bit of shore leave. It's been 3 weeks since we've passed anything worthy of getting off the goddamn boat. And we were like, fine, we got a mission. We're being paid well. We'll respect your boundaries. And then he points over at Snitch, and the captain's kind of, how's he taking this? He's stern look, standing up straight. He turns to Snitch, and he says, "Hello there, buddy. What do you got to say for yourself?" Snitch looks back at the captain, looks back at the people, and says, "We'll share."
You read my mind.
I hope
We're soulmates.
And then that's enough to ease tensions a bit. And the 3 gentlemen back up, and Captain eyes the both of you and shouts, "Raise the anchor! Let's get off this god-forsaken island!" And everybody begins to go to work as Snitch pulls the cask into helps you carry the cask down and wherever you store it. And the ship lurches forward again as you begin to sail and continue your journey up and around the coast of Zezzap. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's where we call tonight's session. A little early, but a good stopping point.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, Cranky, you still have another session for the month. So if you all can collaborate against that, you have my calendar. I would love to continue this story. Please don't make me stop telling this story.
I definitely want to continue this story.
Good. I'm glad.
Yep.
Everybody having fun?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Having a lot of fun.
So what I normally do is I do like what you liked and what you didn't like, but I'm going to close down stream first, and if you guys hang out, we can talk.
Okay.
Thank you all for watching Deputy Delvers episode 1, and if we ever come up with a better team name, we'll change the title. Thank you for watching. Thank you all the players for hanging out with us tonight and playing some D&D. God, D&D's great. D&D's awesome. And stay tuned next Tuesday. The Delving in Deep continues as they explore the second town ever in their adventure. They finally hit the sea. We'll see where their pixie takes them. My biggest question is, how did the pixie get fucked up? Are you going to figure that out? I don't know. You guys have a fantastic night, and see you on Tuesday. Bye.
Bye.